Cornell University, close to $100 million White House settlement. Breaking point. White House on verge of historic $100 million settlement with Cornell University. Imagine the entire research budget of a prestigious university hanging in the balance. This is the stark reality Cornell University has faced, with hundreds of millions of dollars in federal research funding frozen. But here's where it gets intriguing. The White House is now poised to unfreeze these vital funds as part of a monumental settlement that could reach a staggering $100 million. According to insiders close to the negotiations, who wish to remain anonymous due to the private nature of the talks, an announcement could be imminent, potentially as early as next week. The proposed deal underscores the White House's concerted effort to resolve disputes with esteemed educational institutions, ensuring uninterrupted progress in critical research areas. A deal in the making, key sticking points. As negotiations near their climax, one of the contentious issues still on the table is the potential appointment of a resolution monitor. This oversight role would be responsible for ensuring Cornell University's compliance with the stipulated changes mandated by the US government. Notably, Columbia University set a precedent last month by accepting a similar arrangement as part of its landmark $221 million settlement with the White House, marking a significant resolution to their own funding standoff. The bigger picture, implications and questions. Will this settlement pave the way for smoother relations between the White House and top research universities? So, is the introduction of a resolution monitor a necessary step towards accountability? Or does it overstep the boundaries of academic autonomy? How might this deal influence the broader landscape of federal research funding in the US? So, we want to hear from you. Do you believe the proposed settlement is a fair resolution for all parties involved? Should academic institutions be subject to stricter oversight when it comes to federal funding? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Cornell nears $100 million settlement with Trump admin to restore federal funding. Hey, Cornell on the edge of a controversial $100 million settlement with the Trump administration. It seems Cornell University is on the brink of a substantial settlement with the Trump administration, reportedly amounting to $100 million, aimed at lifting the freeze on federal funding valued in the hundreds of millions. This unfolding situation has captured the attention of many, as it holds significant implications for the university's financial future and its relationships with federal authorities. According to Bloomberg's unnamed sources, an official announcement of this agreement could come as early as next week. This development follows recent negotiations between the Trump administration and several prestigious institutions, including Columbia University, the University of Pennsylvania, and Brown University. Each of these schools has managed to navigate similar federal funding disputes with significant concessions. As negotiations progress, there are still elements of the agreement that are yet to be confirmed. For example, it remains open for discussion whether a resolution monitor will be assigned to oversee Cornell's compliance with the stipulated changes, something Columbia agreed to under its own settlement, which amounted to $221 million. When approached for comment on these negotiations, Cornell chose not to disclose details to either The Sun or Bloomberg, maintaining a level of secrecy around the ongoing discussions. Understanding the funding freeze. Cornell, along with other esteemed institutions like Northwestern University and Princeton University, has faced a dramatic halt in federal funding due to investigations initiated by the Trump administration under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. This investigation, spearheaded by the U.S. Department of Education, has raised questions about the university's compliance regarding allegations of discrimination. In April, it was reported by the New York Times that over $1 billion in federal funding had been frozen. Cornell President Michael Kotlikoff revealed that the university had received around 120 stop work orders and had seen numerous grants terminated, all amidst concerns stemming from political pressures. The Office for Civil Rights, OCR, announced its investigation in March, involving not only Cornell, but also 44 other universities. The scrutiny centered on claims that these institutions were infringing on Title VI regulations by collaborating with the PhD Project, an organization that, according to the OCR, imposes eligibility restrictions based on race while offering insights for prospective doctoral candidates. Moreover, in March, Cornell was one of 60 universities that received warnings from the U.S. Department of Education, instructing them to protect Jewish students on their campuses or face potential enforcement actions. This pressure comes in the wake of troubling incidents on campus, such as violent threats directed at Jewish students made online by former student Patrick Dye, who later faced criminal penalties for his actions. Lessons from other Ivy League settlements. The settlements reached by other Ivy League institutions were accompanied by substantial adjustments, both financial and policy-related, allowing them to recommence the flow of federal funding. For instance, Columbia University struck a deal on July 23, agreeing to pay $221 million and provide detailed data regarding its admissions processes, including sensitive information such as applicant race and GPA. Similarly, while the University of Pennsylvania opted not to include financial concessions in its settlement, it opted to align its policies regarding transgender student inclusion in sports with the stipulations set forth by the Trump administration. Changes were made to ensure that past records were relabeled to reflect eligibility rules during the relevant time periods. Brown University also reached an agreement which incorporated a $50 million commitment to workforce development projects in Rhode Island, adherence to the Trump administration's definitions of gender, and enhanced actions to ensure a safer environment for Jewish students. Challenges have also arisen for Cornell in light of these funding issues. In June, the university announced a series of severe cost-cutting measures, including staff layoffs, a hiring freeze, and the consolidation of programs, to counteract the financial strain stemming from the halted federal funding. The administration stated clearly that ensuring financial stability would require each member of the university community to recognize the severity of their predicament and work collaboratively for a viable solution. As discussions unfold regarding the potential settlement with the Trump administration, it's important to consider not just the financial ramifications, but the broader implications for policies, campus climate, and the integrity of educational institutions in America. What are your thoughts on the settlements made by these Ivy League schools? Do you believe such agreements compromise the values of academic independence and integrity? Feel free to share your perspectives in the comments below. Cornell settles with Trump admin to restore millions in federal funding. Cornell University is on track to reach an agreement with the Trump administration to reinstate federal funding that was previously withdrawn due to allegations of inadequate action against anti-Semitism on campus. This move follows similar settlement made by Columbia University and the University of Pennsylvania earlier this year. The funding cuts were part of a broader investigation by the Department of Justice into anti-Semitism claims that 60 universities, including Cornell. Despite having a substantial endowment, the loss of federal support forced Cornell to implement cost-cutting measures, including layoffs and operational restructuring. Unlike most Ivy League institutions, Cornell did not join a lawsuit against the Trump administration's interference with federal funding decisions. Columbia's settlement, which involved financial restitution and policy adjustments, drew attention for its adoption of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance (IHRA) definition of anti-Semitism. This definition, while endorsed by some, has faced criticism from civil rights organizations for potentially stifling legitimate criticism of Israel. The University of Pennsylvania also faced demands related to transgender athlete policies as part of its funding settlement. These agreements, while securing crucial funding, have raised concerns about legitimizing the administration's controversial tactics. Legal experts have highlighted the potential implications of such settlements on academic freedom and government overreach. The negotiations between Cornell